Good evening, guys. It is Podcast Nerd back with a bit of a thoughts and discussion video about the Master of the Universe Masterverse line specifically this time, because I feel in this modern current discussion, current fandom, if you want to call it that, it's like a handful of lines that people talk about. Because that's just it probably Marvel Legends, probably GI Joe Classified, probably Star Wars Black Series. And maybe there's a few people that are like me that are like in the wrestling, so you sort of have like the WWE or the AEW stuff, and some more boutique brands in that sort of lane. One of the two. But yeah, Masterverse. I know people see it as a clear companion piece to the Origins line. The Origins line being more meant to be sort of a homage to the actual 80s toys, which I don't have any nostalgia for, so I just see them as kind of dated, nice little figures. I have the one, but just in general, not really my thing. Just personal. I'm not saying they're bad or good. I'm just saying not really my thing. Yeah, Masterverse is definitely my that's my lane, and I think that maybe the last year or so, I was actually really trying. I've actually really gotten into them because they're really fun, and they're nice and colorful. They come with tons of accessories, mostly, and they're easy to find. There's no like exclusive stuff. You can only, especially if you live in outside the U.S. There's no like, oh, this is only in this store. This is only online. These are basically released everywhere. They're easy to find. They're not, and there's no shenanigans, right? Like with classifieds, like they got some weird shit that Hasbro don't want to sell them overseas anymore, so you have to import them, and then they just like some stores here just like won't stock them because of it. That sucks. I'm not gonna lie, that sucks dick. So, I have a selection. I do have more, but this is supposed to be more of a selection, a handful of some like some villains, a I don't know if you call it battle cat, a mount or vehicle technically or whatever, a female figures because they do those. Some sort of meant to be sort of specifically meant to look like from the Revelations cartoon versus anything else, and one sort of that now has basically been canonized by I don't know Mattel, I don't know, that being Sunman. So let's get into it. Let's start with Man at Arms. It's kind of a popular guy, I think, right? This is specifically sort of animation, specifically um, Revelations version, right? Because he might have sort of an animation-ish look to it. He doesn't look like the original toy or a reimagined version or something like that. And this is the first one I got. And obviously, like he comes, has a. If you know anything about this line, you will sort of see a lot of similarities. Like the body styles are very similar. That's a lot of reuse, but it's fine. Yeah. Man at arms. But yeah, articulation wise, it's very similar. I think I'll probably because you basically get the same stuff. Typical sort of modern articulation, right? There's the hinged, the ball hinged shoulder. Right, there's the bicep swivel. There's usually double jointed knee. Elbow. It goes ish, right, because of the muscles and everything, but it works. And a horizontal hinge for the wrists. He's using a melee weapon. He should be using a vertical hinge, in my opinion. But hey, what are you gonna do? I do see the new version of this guy does have a vertical hinge. So hey, that's great. Like the chest is not side to side, and sort of not really, because you can sort of do side to side, but you get some back certainly and some forward. Nothing crazy. The hip hitch there is of course usually the same stuff, right? This typical sort of the loincloth will get in the way certainly, but not too much. I mean, this boy can do this bits basically, so no problems there. Got the basic die cuts, which will work the way you think it will. Oh, I haven't used this in a while, so they're a bit tight, I think. Alright, there is a... I can't see shit. What is it? Yeah, the knee is gonna get hindered by this massive sort of cuff there, so... But it works, it's all tight, nothing loose, nothing is too tight though, but yeah. Got the toe there, the rocker. No toe hinge though. That's something that you are concerned about. That is basically what you get, right? Now, over time now they have sort of introduced some stuff, and they didn't really tell anyone. One being that now they have drop down hips, which will be on. I do have that. Why did I put that out? I'm stupid. Anywho, that's man at arms. I mean, he stands, pretty well on his own. No problem there. They haven't done a ton of female figures. They've done a handful. Obviously, this was certainly not the first Tila. The first Tila was specifically the Revelations version, with the short hair, the long pants, that everyone got so upset about. But yeah, this especially is the Tila that you probably recognize, right? The tiara, the boots there, the nose, the no leg stuff, the old cool. Try to make her look feminine, but also cool. She'll also come with a separate head that has sort of the long hair sort of loose, so which is cool. But yeah, this is totally the one that I wanted. This is Tila to me, right? So, and articulation wise, is very similar to what I just showed you. Basically the same thing. Which is either you like it or you don't. The head is not great though. The head is pretty tight, I will say. Listen, it's on this one, but yeah, everything else is very similar. Though I think her elbow's probably gonna be a bit crunchier because the arms are thinner. So that is a good thing or bad thing, depending on how you want it. That's actually kind of cool. It's actually kind of a cool pose. Have it on her shoulder, like yeah. Instead of being bad, be more like, we're still doing this, bruh. Sure. Anywho, now for the canonized character, Sunman. If you know their story, actually pretty fascinating. The whole thing of very separate line, it's a different company, different motives to why it was made in the first place. Yeah, and there's all potential getting sued because it's very similar. It was very similar to Master of the Universe. Then the whole like because of the whole thing with Remco, this was sort of be able to slip past them. But this is essentially a version of sort of what it would have been in if you showed up on like Revelations or Revolutions. Probably would have looked like something like this. And to be sure, this is actually pretty cool. Like crazy big wingspan, cool armor. Like, but this does no, it's not this one either. But yeah, big, crazy big wings. Incredibly dusty because it's been standing on a shelf for a while now. Has a classic weapon that also is pretty much the same thing as the vintage one came with and the Origins version. But yeah, this actually is a very colorful, very nice, very sort of bulky, beefy dude. Articulation, like I said, is pretty similar. Of course, smaller sort of cuffs, you can get a better bend. So, and they're pinless. I didn't mention that, but they are pinless. Both the elbows and the knees are all pinless. I would love if Mattel would have just advanced on to doing more of a sort of double ball pin, double ball for the neck, because it's sort of, just a standard looking ball. I mean, it does work, let's be real. It does work, but it's like, some tube is all you're gonna get, basically. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, so, but I am very glad I bought him. I think this with this one, I sort of started to get into the line a lot more. Like I actually like them. Like they're kind of cool. And I had, and to be, full disclosure, I was not a massive Motu fan. Mostly, I think because of the whole generation thing, right? I'm a '90s kid at best, and I don't think Motu was really a big deal then, sort of in the mid. So, but it's something that I've gone back to enjoy. A lot of fun characters, a cool story. You know, obviously baiting to make figures, most like G.I. Joe and a lot of a lot of the older 80s properties, right? They're made to sell toys, basically. Which, hey, it is what it is. Yeah. This is actually more of a recent one that I got, that being Ram Man. It did come with an extra head and without this thing, if you want to look more classic. But this is basically, because this is kind of a new mold for them. Like, it's a bit bulkier, a bit more stocky, maybe. It sort of has like the articulation is there, but sort of hidden on this like soft rubbery material. But like it does work. I mean, don't get me wrong, it does work. It bends and all that stuff. It doesn't have the springs, because that would be something else. But yeah, double elbows, but they won't get too big because the arms are just way too big. But yeah, also a nice axe. Bit bland perhaps, but hey. But yeah, Ram Man is pretty cool. Yeah, like articulation wise, is basically, other than that, it's very similar. But it is sort of a lot more stocky. So as you can see, if you probably ever bought a Hulk figure or something like that, you probably know that it's gonna be a bit harder to manipulate. A lot of crunching too, which is nice if I do say so myself. Now, before I get into another figure, I wanted to show, because of course, as you probably can see, there is a vehicle or a mount or whatever you actually would classify that as. So we will see on that. Check on that. That being Battlecat. This, full disclosure, this apparently is sold like absolute ass, because you get them for like nothing, which is, oh, it's so depressing, right? It's so sad. Because like, which probably means that you probably won't see any more vehicles for the Masterverse line. Probably not. I don't know for sure, but I doubt it. Whereas the Origin stuff line seem to get a few now and then. Sure, certainly. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool if you get someone to like the actual vehicles and whatnot. But like, because the figures themselves are bigger, the vehicles have to be even bigger, and then there's this whole thing, because this is a retail line as well, and the store might just be like, nope, don't have space, don't want it, sorry. But that being said, like, yes, he's pretty cool, right? You can take everything off and make him look like a Cringer if you want to, right? A hinged jaw, like, and does move reasonably well, right? And this is actually a pretty big, sizable figure too. So yeah, that is pretty cool in my opinion. Then yeah, look, they're very easy to get on, so no problem there. No problem at all. Now, and then of course you got the last one that I was going to say, like Merman. One of the very few villains I actually have, because like I said, like I was kind of a late comer, bit of a Johnny Con lately, if you will. So, and as you probably know, like I said a few minutes ago, like the line did start off with as a sort of more of a companion piece to the Revelations cartoon on Netflix. So a lot of the designs sort of are meant to look like that. Largely, I wasn't a fan, because when I think Merman, I think this. You have the gold armor, like the Corona Cob sword, all the gold and stuff like that, instead of sort of the grizzled like Niskanen and scars and very little else that came with the Masterverse version. Even though it does look pretty cool, don't get me wrong. It's just not the one I wanted, basically. Like, you can totally take this off if you want to. It's a very much it's a loose piece. Is it not this one? It is not this one. I don't remember. I think this must have come in with maybe Boss Off. So I have Clam Champ. I can probably show it off at the end of the video, yeah. But I did come with like more hands and but yeah. Same situation, right? He's carrying a melee weapon. Alright. So in my opinion he should have a vertical hinge wrist. This is pointless. He should be like up and down. Because that would make sense. But yeah, other than that, like I said, very colorful. They do pop on the shelf for sure. Very, very much so, in my opinion. His mouth does not move, unfortunately. I don't think. Am I crazy? No. Might be a separate piece for sure, but I actually haven't checked out. Let's find out. No, I don't think so. I am pretty sure it's a separate piece sort of molded in, but it's not part of the head basically. But yeah, anywho, got a nice sort of gem in there as well. Yeah, meant to look like a coral, and so yeah, so is this so like now obviously the elephant in the room being that like what about the classics, right? What about the Master of the Universe classics, right? I do have some, I do, but they're in storage here and there. I didn't buy a lot because this was a sort of retail, not retail, an online store thing. So didn't really get a lot. Also, like even at that point, the sculpture and articulation was dated. So unless you're like a hardcore motu fan, which I know there are a lot of, don't get me wrong, there is a bunch of you, I know. But yeah, not really my thing. I don't know. But yeah, similar, right? Like always tight as shit. This thing is very tight. There you go. Yeah. This I believe is also a slimmer build, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not entirely sure. But yeah. Merman. Now, I'm gonna fast forward because I forgot to take him out because I could have done a bit better job, but professionalism is not what I'm about. So, cut! Back. Clam Champ. Again, probably more of a secondary character or third tier character depending on. But I thought it just looked pretty cool. I believe this is part of the new Eternia one. For God's sake, stop calling me. And this does have the drop down hips. As you might be able to see. Let's see if I can see this. Maybe mostly for better range and stuff, but even I mean, we can sort of argue if it actually works or if actually it's worth it, but yeah, that apparently is becoming more and more common. And it seems like it basically is standard now, so that's pretty cool. Other than that, you can see it's very similar. Like it's very in true motu fashion. It is a lot of reuse. Like look at the boots, right? Just different color. The loincloths basically different color. I think that the chest piece is also used on Fisto and someone else I can't remember at the top of my head. Let's see, this guy's smaller. Right, this guy's smaller, so maybe get a bigger. I don't think so though. Not really, no. But yeah, it's regular hands inside it, so it will get out of the way. If you don't want to take it off, you could. But yeah, Clam Champ. I really do like the face sculpt though. Looks mean as hell. Yeah, I wish the lighting was a bit better, but yeah. And also, it's a bit of a side note. I want to talk about this one because this is, I don't know, was this the first deluxe? Maybe one of the first deluxe. That being King Grayskull, the black with dreads King Grayskull. Which obviously, yeah, like he's not like King Grayskull. People will usually will think about the 2000X version where he's a blonde white guy. Now he's a black guy with dreads. Honestly, I'm not complaining. He looks pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, Also, I have the classic version, and now I have a different one. Cool. But yeah, like I love my soft goods, and the fact that this line just implies at least that yeah, there will be soft goods where it is applicable. Yeah, soft goods cape comes out decent amount, even has bendy wire in it, so you can sort of bend it, sort of blowing in the wind or sort of whatnot. Uh, the uh, the pads there was a bit finicky though, but whatever. Sword is cool. Like this is just a overall this is just a cool line. Yeah, same situation. A lot of horizontal hinges for the wrists. Why? Yeah, like articulation wise, it's very similar. Nothing that should surprise you at any point, but yeah, it does work very, very well, in my opinion. The thigh cuts, which I don't like personally, I've mentioned this a few times over the course of my adventure on YouTube. I don't like them. They're terrible. They look bad. Like, build them into the hips. Seriously, it can be done. Have you seen the boss fight stuff? They're amazing. Yeah, but yeah, having his own insignia on the chest and on the shield. Yeah, yeah. Same situation. Same boots. There's different colors. Now, I do actually. So you might think, hey, you have all these people. Where's He-Man and Skeletor? There's a story to that. One, I did the first one that they showed off in this line. Didn't like him. He looked like a Simpsons character. Like his hair was the same skin tone as his face. Looked terrible. So because of that, I just wasn't a fan of it. So I kind of I waited, and I got sort of the savage He-Man that's meant to look like sort of when it's all redded up from that one episode. If I'm talking to anyone that actually didn't watch part two, I'm sorry, but it was actually pretty good. People got upset for like no reason. I'm sorry. Yeah, can't admit it, maybe lying through his teeth, but still, like that show was cool. So yeah, and Revolution is on Netflix right now, and it's pretty cool. I see a lot of designs that can make great figs, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Side note there. Yeah. So what did I do? Since then, I have on order the let's see the battle armor He-Man, which in my opinion just looks like is a better representation. And you can take the armor off, and yeah, he will be a standard He-Man if you want to do that. So yeah, Skeletor, similar. I missed out on the first one because at that early one I wasn't entirely sure about the line. So I don't know. But of course, since then, like my problem is that this is gonna be a ramble, but that's how I do. Yeah. I bought the new Eternia Skeletor basically. It's in the box because I will put it in my haul for February. That's the plan at least. And because initially, because again, like sometimes the promotional pics just aren't helpful. They will just not show accessories that should be on the figure. And that's annoying because it confuses like consumers, at least for me, right? Because it gives you a bad impression. But even select, I'm looking at you. You are incredibly inconsistent. But yeah, so that Skeletor like comes with a sword and like has this like helmeted head and such. It looks cool, but like that's isn't Skeletor for a lot of people. But at the same time, it comes with a normal head. Didn't show up in a lot of promotional pictures that I saw. Comes with his staff, and the armor is removable, so you can make him look pretty much like standard Skeletor if you wanted to. It's not even a problem. Oof, yeah, this is the whole thing. I also have the sorceress on order because I wasn't entirely sure. But I was like, you know what? You can't have He-Man figures and not have the sorceress. Sorceress. My bad. Come on, that's stupid. Evelyn, even like the Beastman, Evelyn, and Triclops. Not a lot of the baddies like they're not on my in my collection at the moment. We'll see what the future holds. But yeah, I also got like Mechanic and the new Man at Arms on order. But like he's already been out. He's gonna take like a million years to hit the shores here. Yeah, it is a. But again, they're available. They're not something exclusive to one store that isn't available here yet, like at the eBay and all that kind of bullshit. Yeah, they're easy to get a hold of. You might wait a bit, but they are available, and that is great. So, after all this, what do you think about the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line? I suspect that I mean, we already know, right? Because Revolution now has hit, so there probably will be some Revolutions figures. I am guessing, like there's a new, so the new look for Tila, the new look for He-Man, and his sort of almost 2000X inspired King Grayskull look, which looks pretty cool. Let's be fair. The new Orko packed with Gwildor, but that's a deep cut if I ever saw one. Like, good God, like no one watched the movie. Why can't do a figure of him? And because you can't sell Orko on his own because he's too small. You have to load him up with accessory to make it worth it. Which, let's be real, you probably would have bought him instead. Like if they didn't put him in with Gwildor, but put him in with a bunch of spell effects. That'd be cool. It would justify the price, and everyone would be happy. So that is me rambling on about a Masterverse line. A line that I've come to like. Yeah. They've become an easy line to collect. They're fun. They're not outrageously priced. I have to run on eBay to get some characters. They're easy to find. They look cool. They seem to have a good amount of value. Not a crazy amount of value, but even like sometimes they will do sort of deluxe figures. They will just have more stuff in it. And yeah, I do hope for the future that we get some more vehicles. It's unlikely, but I hope so. Like I am hopeful that we will get more vehicles that actually fit this line. But companies like to make money, and Battlecat did not set a good trend. People picked them up for like nothing. So it is what it is. But that is that. I have been your host, Peltrex, the Root Nerd, and I will see you sometime in the future, perhaps. Yes. Yes. See ya. Peace.